All right, awesome. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this webinar for conversion tactics for marketing teams. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Aaron Mack, and I'm your Vice President of Marketing. So if you have any questions about anything, just go ahead and reach out to me via email, or you can reach out to me via Twitter as well. I love a good Twitter follower. I'm also on Instagram and Snapchat with the same address. So at Mizzou Monster if you would like to reach out to me. So let's get started. We have some cool stuff for you guys today. Sadly, because I'm presenting in this, the GIFs aren't working, but just know that this GIF would be really awesome because it'd be Celine Dion being like, let's get this done. So, like, if that's important to you, like, it's important to me. Yeah, cool. So, oh my god, this is so bad. Everything's all messed up because I can't present correctly. Okay, so this is what I see a lot of marketing teams are feeling right now. They're feeling like, yeah, they're going to go out and have a good time. They're going to try and do a lot of great results, have a lot of great activities, perform a lot of cool strategies, and then, you know, they're out on the town in their markets. They're trying to get things done. And as they're out there, you know, they just slip and fall. They really just they don't cut it. It's just not working out for them, and it's not really what they're trying to see. So I see a lot of marketing teams just falling on their faces because they're working really, really hard, but the results are just not coming in. And so I want to make sure that you guys have the right tools in order to make the best of the situation. Cool. So today's agenda, we're going to go through the principles of conversion management, the conversion mindset. So what is the conversion mindset and how is it going to help you? Tactics you can use in order to improve your conversion strategies. Measuring results. So just like why it's important to measure results and how you should measure them. And then, of course, we'll have a question and answer segment. So I will post the link on the side so you guys can join in the Q&A, and it'll be fun. Yeah. Actually, I think I can post the Q&A now. Okay, cool. So I want to talk, before we begin anything, I just want to talk about what the difference between attraction and conversion is. So a lot of times in marketing, we think of marketing as just attraction. And attraction is these activities you perform like tabling, flyering, social broadcasting, when you use keywords, when you have media advertising, so newspaper advertising, TV advertisements, career fairs, youth to business, other events, and guerrilla marketing. A lot of people in ISEC really do believe that marketing is just these things, just like getting the message out there, just the promo, and that's where it stops. And the goal for attraction is usually just to generate buzz. It's really just to get more people interested in ISEC, get more people interested in volunteering abroad or interning abroad, joining our programs, things like that. And when you do attraction, because attraction is a big part of marketing, it's not the full picture, but it's a big part, you should be collecting lead data. So if you're not collecting email addresses, country preferences, the skill level of people that you're talking to at these events or at these interactions, the motivation for why they want to go abroad or why they want to join ISEC, and then the project preferences, so you know, what kind of project specifically do they want to go on, then you're not doing the first part of marketing, which is collecting all this information so you can then do conversion. So if in your LC you're not doing this, I would really recommend you make it a strategy. Okay, I need to start collecting this kind of data when I do tabling, when I'm at my youth to business, when I'm doing all these things. Social broadcasting, when I'm using keywords, so that's like SEO on your blogs, things like that. When I'm doing media advertising, if you're not collecting all this data, then you're missing a big part of what it is to be an on-the-ground marketer. Cool. So conversion is something different. Conversion is all about using our website, information sessions, question and answer sessions, webinars, panels, and office hours, email marketing in order to engage people with what our products actually are and answer their questions so people can go to the next step in the process of applying, in the process of actually going abroad. So yeah. Our goal is to enable customers to find success and solutions in our processes. So some companies actually call this customer success department or the VP of customer success. I'm a customer success representative because it's all about making sure that the customer feels that they are empowered to get the best out of this scenario. And then, of course, applications are the bottom line for conversion. So yeah, in attraction, you definitely want to collect a lot of emails and get those going, but at the end of the day, you want to still get applications as your bottom line, and that's something I've been pushing for a long time, but really, really focusing on, okay, how do I get good applications? And another thing I want to mention is a lot of people have this question about, okay, like, yeah, we can get a lot of applications, but it's not going to matter if they're all bad, and that's very true. You don't want bad applications. But that's why it's important to go through a two-part process of, okay, we've been putting our stuff out there, and I've been seeing a lot of you guys putting a lot of stuff out there, and that's really great. But I think the conversion part really helps to ensure that you not only get a lot of applications, but they're actually quality applications. So it's really important for that. Cool. So let's get this started. Also, just so you guys know, I want to make this like less than a 30-minute total webinar. So don't worry if you think it's going to go too long. I'm going to try and keep it as brief and as efficient as possible. Cool. So principles conversion. Hint: it's not attraction. Really, when you're thinking about conversion, it's just something totally different than what you're used to in the general sense of marketing that I'm in ISEC, quote unquote. So I really challenge you guys to have an open mind when it comes to how we're doing marketing in ISEC. Cool. So rule number 1 is to provide a clear pathway. So if people want the easiest way of getting from A to B, attraction to buying. I know, right? No, people really want a clear pathway for, okay, how do I interact with this product? Okay, how do I purchase this product? Okay, how do I use this product? They don't want to go through so many hoops and hurdles to get there. I see a lot of people posting on social and on advertisements as well, and maybe tabling, it's just like, oh, like, you don't need to do anything, just email me. That's all you need to do. But what email chains provide, if that's your only method of getting in touch with people, is, okay, that person actually has to get the time to actually email you, formulate the message, send it to you. Then you have to spend time thinking about the response and sending him the right response back, when you could just give him the website. You can give this person an invitation to an information session. You can invite them to your office hours, because it's just a lot easier sometimes just to have that one-on-one conversation. A 5-minute conversation can really convince somebody and enable them to understand, what is the next step for me to do in order to go abroad with ISEC or to be a member in ISEC. And then don't let our messaging derail a person's personal journey. And that sounds really weird, person's personal journey, but a person's personal journey is actually very important. We want to make sure that when we're giving people these messages about, okay, this is how you go abroad, we allow them to also have some freedom in how they want to do their decision-making process. So some LCs, they have it to where it seems like you can only go abroad if you go to the information session, because there are a lot of organizations that require you to go to the information session. But really make it as easy as possible for somebody to get from point A to point B. And then leave no roadblocks to prevent people from getting to the application process. So a big roadblock I see is that people don't actually provide the correct URL, or they're just not providing a URL at all in our information. Some people don't have time to just be going and doing office hours or information sessions. That's okay. Like, they just need the information on a website where they can come back to it later and be like, okay, this is what I need to know. And as you can see here, I have pictures of our lovely customer flow icons. You can go to isecus.org/exchange and see what these mean if you don't know already. Cool. So brand consistency is crucial. I think it's really important that the visuals, messaging, and even the wording remains consistent throughout the journey. So in this sense, it's kind of like when you say, okay, you can go abroad in the Global Citizen Program to volunteer abroad, but some LCs may choose to use different wording that is completely different from that. They say, you can intern abroad with Global Citizen. We're really trying to build up the brand that interning and volunteering are two different things. And then there's really no need to complicate further our process. So as you can see, also I've used a good example of our sub-issue branding here. So you can find that in the assets folder, and I'd recommend you really use it because it's really simple, it's really clear, and it gives people an understanding of where they can go. The worst thing you can say is, oh, can I do Global Citizen in France? No, you cannot. And so we provided you guys with a lot of information and links in order to make the best decisions on those kind of things. Cool. So this section will say localize. So localize and specialize offerings. So think about in what ways you can position our programs on your campus that appeals to the budget, demographics, and needs of students. So how does Global Citizen sell at the University of Michigan versus Yale University? What kind of wording do you need to use that's not so far removed from the branding, of course, like make sure it's on brand, but what kind of wording, what kind of messaging, what kind of positioning can you create for Global Citizen that is appealing to certain campuses over others? So for some campuses, Latin America is much more appealing than Asia, and vice versa. So really, what kind of messaging, what kind of ideas can you have in order to make it a better positioning on your campus? And don't sell it's too complicated. There's no need to get overly complicated with the way you sell things. There's no need to get overly complicated with your conversion strategy. So even when you're in information sessions, think about the information you're putting out there in information sessions. Cut things that you don't need and focus down on only what you do need. Cool. Rule 4, enable storytelling. So this picture here I'm using is 6 Weeks for the World, and that's a storytelling campaign because it's super simple. Where do you want to go if you could volunteer abroad? And a lot of people are answering Cambodia, Brazil, Colombia, here, there, everywhere. And I think it's important that we offer the chance for people to either tell their own stories from an external perspective of, yeah, like I would really want to go there, or have your own members tell a story of, I really want to go here, or I've been here, and this is why it was impactful for me. And furthermore, you want to understand what is your personal connection to ISEC. So as a member of ISEC, why did you join ISEC? Why are you in ISEC? Why is ISEC such an important organization? Because if you don't have that, on the tip of your tongue at all times, you're not really understanding why ISEC is important to you. People will not be able to connect to your the genuine nature of ISEC, and we really want that to be a thing. The last rule is reciprocity delivers. So I think reciprocity is super important, and it's that people often feel indebted to those who give them something or to those who did something positive to them. It is the act of giving or doing something back in return. So this is when you see a lot of when you test perfumes out. So if I spray perfume on a sheet on those little paper strips and I give it to you to smell, if I give you free samples of things, it's just like, oh, that was really nice. But not only that, it gave me a chance to actually understand, okay, this is what the product is about, and I feel like I want to contribute back to you because you were willing to give something to me. So it's something really, really small, but I think even things like seminars, writing really good content, or publicizing stories on issues that are important. Example is Colombia. A lot of people have this idea that the drug trade in Colombia is really strong, but how can we on our campuses create a motion that there is not that much going on there? That the drug trade has actually moved to other countries, that there is there's a better lifestyle there than we're currently perceiving. So what I would recommend is, putting on those seminars, creating content for people to really engage with the issues and understand how they can be a part of it. Teaching someone something or giving them a micro-experience, we actually call it micro-experience, engages people in a personal way, and it connects them to the mission of ISEC and, what their place in it is. Cool, so those are the 5 principles. So to recap, clear pathway. You need brand consistency. Storytelling is super important. Localize and specialize, and reciprocity. And this is how you create conversion over attraction. This is really when you're saying, okay, I'm not just going to try and throw a net out and catch people. I'm really trying to engage people one-on-one with, what is the value of ISEC and what is the value of our internship programs. So in your LC, what is the biggest problem marketing faces in converting people to applicants? And I really want you guys to think about this question throughout the rest of the PowerPoint, but and then take it back to your LC and be like, okay, I feel like this is the biggest problem we face, and understand what is the solution for us to grow. And a lot of times I think we're really blaming with this. We're like, oh, the solution is my VP isn't doing this. Oh, the solution is my members suck. Oh, the solution is, we're going to fire everybody. We're going to just completely overhaul everything. But sometimes the simplest solution is often the correct one. Think about the biggest problem you have and what is the simplest way you can solve that problem and make it happen. Cool. Let's go into conversion mindset. And I subtitled this Feel the Power because there's a lot of power that comes when you have a mindset for conversion over attraction. So the attraction mindset is all about, okay, I'm just going to post everywhere. I'm going to get my message out to as many places as possible, and that's cool. That's important as well. Conversion mindset, which a good chunk of your LC needs to have, is all about having a customer-centric mindset. And the simple question you can ask yourself is my messaging, processes, and strategy for the customer or for my own ease? So am I doing everything for myself or for my customer? And if it's for yourself just because it's easier, like, oh, we're only going to have information sessions, once a month because, we don't have, the talent to do it. Or, oh, we're not going to do office hours because I can't, I don't want to commit myself to, an extra hour a week. Is that what's really going to, change the game if you have to give up another hour? Maybe so, maybe not. But you have to make the decisions to have a conversion mindset to actually engage with people. It's all about being customer-centric, and you have to make the decisions, make the sacrifices to be more customer-centric. So this is what I would say to this. When you're doing the attraction phase, you can go out there, you can pitch your product. You can go out there and you can persuade people it'd be a great idea. Let me get your email down, come to an information session, come to office hours, go to our website, things like that. That's when you pitch and persuade. When you're trying to convert, when someone's in a different stage of engaging with your content, engaging with your product, you don't pitch, you don't persuade. You listen, you answer, and you learn. And it's really important to listen. It's really important to hear, okay, yeah, like I really want to go to Columbia, but I'm really afraid of this and that. Okay. And then you create an answer. You're like, okay, well, this is what I can give to you. This is the answer I can give to you. And you take back that info. A lot of people are concerned with Columbia. That's what you hear. So you create content and you create an understanding and LC of how do you answer that question quickly and effectively so people feel more comfortable coming to you for these questions about our program. The more comfortable people feel with you about your with your excellent mastery of our programs and your knowledge of our programs, the more likely they are to convert and actually apply to our programs. All right, the next stage I want to go into is tactics, and I say don't get bitter, get better. And I think it's important that a lot of us, when we figure out that something we're doing isn't correct, we just get mad and we keep trying to do it because we want to prove someone wrong. We want to say, oh, like I was still right. Like I want to make sure that this actually does work. But if you see that your tactics currently are not working, if you see that you have a lot of people that have signed up to come to information sessions, or a lot of people that are at your office hours, but a lot of them aren't converting, you really need to realize, okay, maybe something isn't correct, and I don't need to change my entire strategy. I just need to change different parts of it in order to make it better and more effective. So the key tactics are all about engaging people with the right content. And content doesn't always mean a video, it doesn't always mean a picture, it doesn't always mean a blog post. Content can be something as simple as an answer or direction to the right web page, a direction to the right resource. And learn what's most effective with your audience as a channel of delivering this engaging content. For some LCs, it's information sessions. That's what their bread and butter is on. And if you're really good at giving information sessions, like keep doing that, but figure out how you can make them better. Sometimes it's email. A&M is a good example. They've done a lot of their conversion marketing through email. So how can you convert more people through email in other methods? Because email usually just takes less time and gets a lot more people engaged at once. And then a strategy I think that is really underused is office hours. So why are LCs not opening up their own office hours from, let's say, Tuesday, Thursday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and having someone, at least one person, manning the office, manning a central location where externals can come in and interact with ISECers to say, okay, I'm really interested in going abroad, but I have questions. Or, oh, like I saw this on the website, but I'm confused. We need to create these touch points and these spaces so that people can better engage with our content. And lastly, really create content that is both informative and customer-centric. So a lot of times information sessions are not customer-centric. They're very based on, okay, we have to cover this in ISEC. This is super important in ISEC. But learn what is important for your customer, not what's important for ISEC. All right, and then some more key tactics. Tactic one, I would say, is tracking. So a good example is if you have 100 emails from people that have signed up at events, but only 20 applications, where are the other 80 that didn't end up applying? I would recommend heavily that you distribute and track the accounts and ensure that there's follow-up. So if you have 80 people that you need to track, distribute them to your 8 team members, have 10 of them email directly, hi, I noticed you signed up at this event, or hi, I noticed you were interested in going abroad with ISEC. Is there any information I can provide as a member? Would you like to meet up for coffee? Would you like to meet up at our office hours, things like that? And really ensure that there's actually follow-up and there's actually momentum going on. Tactic number two, super simple, super important, is nudging. So all you have to do sometimes is send an email. If you have a phone number, send a text like, hey, like I heard you're interested in this. Like, can I get you something? Just like what I was saying with tracking, it's all about just nudging and saying, yeah, like thanks for coming to this event. We just wanted to make sure that you had this information because you may have forgotten about it with all the other things you saw at the career fair. Just here, make sure that you have this this URL so that you can go and apply. Sometimes that's the simplest way to do it because you may have gotten 100 people to sign up, and just with that you can get 10, 20, 30 people to sign up online and actually apply to the program. And people are usually in the middle of the decision-making process when they get cut off. Career fairs are good examples of this. I hear a lot of times like, yeah, we got 200 people to sign up, but no one actually applied because people are so busy and so frazzled with everything around them, they can't actually continue the application process. So just reach out to those that have fallen out of the funnel and learn what kind of content they need to proceed. Tactic 3, influence. For this one, you notice I put Luis, who, if you were at WNC, he was the keynote speaker at Youth to Business. And I think it's important that we look to engage influencers, so people with a large and strong social network that can become champions of ISEC. So these are people like club heads, professors, deans, and community leaders, people that actually have influence and can connect you to other people that can be even more effective in promoting and converting for ISEC. So with influencers also, maybe you can get them to speak at events. Maybe you can get them to come and talk about social issues that are happening that relate to Global Citizen, or a labor shortage that's related to global talent. And this is how you really engage those people in order to make the best out of the situation. Cool. Tactic 4 is custom content. So I really love this one. It's about creating really cool blog posts, infographics, and other vehicles for simple information presentation that can give people the information they need to make the decision we want them to make without them realizing they even had to make a decision. So I made this infographic a couple weeks ago. I hope you guys have seen it. But it's the Where Should I Volunteer Abroad infographic. And yeah, I could go and talk to 100, 200, 300, 400 people and ask them, yeah, like, so where you want to go? Would you want to go to somewhere in Eastern Europe? Do you want somewhere coastal? How about Poland? But sometimes it's easier just to make the infographic because you spread it out to more people. And the more viral this content becomes, the more we actually spread it out throughout social networks, the more efficient it becomes. Cool. So my question to you guys is, how can you manifest these tactics in your marketing strategy? And along with the previous question, I want you to think, what can I do with these 4 tactics? What can I do with these ideas and this mindset about conversion in order to change my marketing strategy? Is my marketing strategy really focused on attraction and conversion, or is it just focused on attraction? Be critical of your strategy and understand where you can make these changes in order to make the best of your situation. Next, I want to go into measuring results, because what happens next is up to you. So a lot of times when we're done with a big round of recruitment, or when we're done with even a big month of recruitment, we just feel, okay, we're done. We don't have to look at anything else. I can go back to my day-to-day life. I can go back to just making posters. I can go back to just having fun in ISEC. But it's not always about that. It can't always be so fun. And I think we really need to understand what kind of results we need to look for. So here are 4 key metrics I think you guys can look for in your application numbers, because all the VPs now have their own Fluid Review accounts. You guys should be able to access this and really see what's going on with that. But what to look for? What is my total number of applications? So is it 20, is it 30, is it 40, is it 50? How many of them are global citizen? How many of them are global talent? How many applications do you bring in per week? So what is your application growth over week? If you notice that in 1 week you got 50% of your applications, but then you stopped growing, that's an important fact to know, because you need to look back and see, okay, what did I do that week, the week before, the week before that, in order to create this conversion, create this buzz, and really bring those applications. And something I think we don't look at enough is, what countries are people interested in? Because I think different markets have different country preferences. So some people really like Brazil, some people really like Turkey, some people really like Poland. And I think learning about that data, learning about how the majors align with country preferences, even school years align with country preferences, that can change the way you present this data in your attraction and conversion data. And I would also recommend you present this kind of data every week to your team, not just your EB, but to your functional team as well, because everyone should be understanding, what is marketing actually getting done this week, and how am I contributing to that. And a question I have for you guys as well is, did you set a goal for this semester? So a lot of you guys have not been setting goals for applications. That's very poor planning, because if you don't know what you're actually trying to achieve, other than, oh yeah, like I really want to, have good brand relevance on the campus. I really want to make sure ISEC is well known. Like, that's really cool, but at the end of the day, that's bullshit. You're not actually going to be unmeasurable. So understand, what is the application number one LC? For some LCs, it's going to be 50, 60, 70. For other LCs, it's going to be 150, 200, 300 applications. And when you have that goal, tell that to your team, tell that to your LC, make it a standard that everyone understands that and everyone knows how that's going to affect your marketing strategy, how that's going to affect your LC strategy and your LC direction. And a tip I can give all of you is to list down every strategy for marketing and qualify them based on the number of applications expected. So if you have tabling down as a attraction activity and office hours down as another as a conversion activity, what application numbers do you expect to get from each? If I'm going to table for 3 hours and I'm investing 3 more hours into office hours, how many applications each time do I want to expect to get from those sessions? And by doing that, you're able to understand, okay, where can I prioritize my HR, where can I prioritize my members in order to get the best results? Awesome. Cool. So I tried to just go through that really quickly, trying to understand, how can I be brief about this, how can I be simple? But I really want to know, what kind of questions and answers do you guys have? So if you're currently on the chat window, you can do a Q&A, and I can see your questions and answers. But other than that, I'll just be on the call as well, just answering any questions for the next 5-10 minutes. So I hope this has been helpful. The PowerPoint will be sent out to all the people that signed up, as well as I'll put a link on the Facebook group as well.